Now, here are some deeper questions people might ask about the Book of Mormon's history. Like, why don't we have any archaeological evidence of these people? Or why don't we have DNA evidence for them? Or where did it all happen exactly? There's a pretty simple concept that helps answer a lot of these questions. It's that when this small group of ancient Hebrews initially came into the Americas, they found themselves surrounded by many Native Americans already in the land. The Book of Mormon doesn't directly say this, but there are lots of hints of it, such as how fast they learned to plant corn and build cities, how fast some groups lose their language, and indirect references to other outside groups. We can do a really fun video about this later, but the point here is that when Lehi arrived, there were others who they interacted with. And over time, they would start to become part of that broader culture, intermarrying, adopting many of their traditions, while trying to maintain their own beliefs. So with this idea in mind, it's easier to understand how their Hebrew DNA would be lost. That's not a simple cop-out answer here. That's just how science and genetics works. They call it genetic drift or founder effect, especially if this group has been mixing for a couple thousand years until today. Now, there are some members who think they've found Middle Eastern DNA in Native Americans, but those claims just aren't scientifically supported. You can check out the church's official DNA essay for a deeper dive about this. And when it comes to archaeology, that would slowly be lost as well. There are plenty of ancient civilizations that we have very little evidence for. Now, I do think there is archaeological evidence for the Book of Mormon that we'll get into later, but as far as very specific or widespread evidence, it's kind of natural that any bigger group would absorb a smaller group, losing traces of their existence, especially if that smaller group was destroyed as the Book of Mormon peoples were. For example, a lot of Mesoamerican ruins today are from later cultures who built on top of older cultures.